Alright, we are heading into Oslo to have a nice little walk with the dog. So come join us. Yeah. How far are you guys walking, huh?
I don't know.
Just walking forever.
I'm just walking away from everyone.
Nice.
We came to Oslo because there's gonna be people and then we can take a cup of coffee or something, but we didn't do any of that and there was no people and I'm sad.
Where are we now?
To be honest, I don't know the name of the Classic Class.
Yeah. Here we are.
Yeah, we are. On the left side is arcade, but not as a playground. And I am not sure if it's still some kind of like a market, because usually it is. We can go and check it out. And there is a nice lake like all the way around, that the same one, but all the way around.
Yeah, but it's a Sunday, so it's probably closed.
No, but Saturday and Sunday is market. That's when it is.
Cool.
Oh yeah. Nice sit. Good boy. Yes, good coming.
He's annoying, huh?
Colin?
He's annoying, huh?
No.
No.
You are.
We finally made it to the fucking park after an hour and a half of walking.
No way.
She kept saying like, yeah, we're almost there, right around the corner. It never was, but finally we made it to the park. Hopefully we can take some nice photos and you'll have a look at them.
Hey, Maxi. He's so cute.
Yeah. It is so much colder than it looks today. I don't know, it's like what, -8 or something today, or at least what it feels like. It has been so cold for the previous week, so the snow is not here anymore, but it's fucking cold, like it's frozen on the ground and it's, yeah, icy as fuck.
Yeah, Charlie. Hi.
We have now had a nice little walk in the park after the long walk here. We're gonna find a bus to get home because we're not walking an hour and a half back. Our poor little dog cannot walk that much, but it was nice. It was a nice walk. And yeah, then we're gonna come back home, make some lovely food, and that's a wrap. We made it to Oslo S.
We did.
Finally.
Going home.
We need to wait half an hour now. Yeah. Alright, but we finally made it back to Ski. So we're gonna head home, chill, edit some of those photos, and yeah, that'll be a lovely day. Because you're just repeating me.
Am I repeating you?
A child. I'm living with a child. Alright, so we're back from Oslo and we're about to edit some of the photos, look at if they were any good or not, and we'll also start to edit this video. So let's jump straight into it. Okay, nice. So I have picked out a couple of photos for us to look at, and so far my idea is that all of the photos are in black and white, because I'm trying something new with more of understanding light than just having like a good photo. Like, instead of caring about the colors and how it like looks, I want to experience the shadows and the lighting and how to deal with contrast and create a powerful looking image without any color. I think that will be very cool to try. So let's get into it. Here I got one with a lot of birds. So I'm gonna start with cropping it because I'm shooting everything on the A7R5, which means that I have 61 megapixels and a lot of real estate to crop in with. And yeah, I did shoot everything in camera in black and white, but when I import it to Adobe, it removes the black and white, so I'm gonna have to re-add it, but that is no problem at all. It's very nice to have the colors. I do believe something like this could be quite cool with all the birds. And then let's do the black and white. All right, so I'm pumping up the exposure because I really like how they are just silhouettes of birds. And something very minor that is bothering me is this fucking sign over there. I'm just gonna see if I can remove that before I do anything else because, yeah, it was annoying me straight up. All right, cool. That did a really good job of that. So let's continue here. I do want to make a shadow on the buildings because they are stealing a little bit of the photo here, I feel. So I'm gonna just get that quite around down there. It's quite a cool looking image so far. So I'm gonna use a mask, a gradient mask, to just make a little bit more of a shadow over these buildings without making it too much. I believe this is something that started to look quite good. And I wonder if I were to do a sky mask and make that a bit more white. Something like that. Because now it's very much of a silhouette. So that is quite cool. I think this is a quite cool first image. Wonder if I'm also actually gonna remove a couple of these birds in the edges because I feel like they're making it a little bit imbalanced. So I'm just gonna do that really quickly, adding the remove. AI removes everything. It is so amazing how well it works. It's like I'm using the Adobe Lightroom Classic. And honestly, like the main reason why I'm using the Classic is actually just how it handles my photos. Like, say, because I do a lot of sports shooting. So when I add my photos, like I normally, for example, shoot 128 gigabytes. So adding that into the normal Lightroom, I feel like I need to do it first to my SSD and then to Lightroom, and it just takes ages. But here I have this own import. I probably do it in the Lightroom Classic also, but I like the way that this works and how easy it is and how well it just helps me, for example, pick my photos before I even import them. And then when I import them, it's just straight to my SSD and it is all just, yeah, way easier than going like first to the SSD. Huh. It actually works really badly. Do you guys see this? You can still, what the fuck? You can still see the birds. Huh. They burnt into the image. What is going on here? It's not moving away. Nothing's happening. Okay, I think doing that, just upping the exposure, because I don't know what the fuck's going on. But yeah, upping the exposure, and then I'm just gonna take it down a notch, because we still get that nice contrasty look. But yeah, I'm happy with this. So let's get on to the next photo. Here I just have a photo of just a normal building, but it was just so nice how the sun was hitting the building. So I'm definitely gonna crop way into that in a 4x5, because that is what takes up a lot of space in, for example, Instagram and whatever. It just fills up the whole, when you're scrolling on the feed, it takes the most amount of real estate. So it's way more hard to miss it when it's in a 4x5. First, gonna also start by removing this lamp. Let's use the AI remover. Nice, all right, so here it did a way better job. You can barely see that anything is done there compared to the birds, where you could just still see the birds. How, yeah, that was so I don't know what was going on there. So then we gotta just switch it over to the black and white. I really like this black and white 3. It was very contrasty, and that is kind of what I'm going for here. So I feel like the building in the background is not quite... You see how it's like one goes this way and the other one goes that way? It was very hard to see what the horizon actually was, but this I think is more symmetrical. So yeah, we're gonna just go with that. Up the contrast, go a little bit down with the highlights because the clouds are looking quite nice actually. Gonna do down the shadows a bit to get even more contrast without using contrast slider. Up the whites a bit, down with the blacks. This photo here, I also think I want a little bit of a vignette, like a dark vignette. So I'm gonna scroll down to the vignetting. Here we have it, perfect. Not much, but just a little bit. The more I do it, the more you can see the lamp for whatever reason. I don't know what the AI thing is doing, but okay. Look at the lamp. You see the lamp? You can like see where it was up here. But yeah, just a little bit of a vignette because it's a very dramatic photo, I think. At least what I'm going for, because it was so cool how it was hitting the building there. So I'm gonna try and make this photo seem a little bit more dreamy, I think. So we're gonna make the brush a little bigger, and I want to just, or maybe I should try the object selector, because that is actually quite accurate at times. So we'll see if it manages to get this building as an object. I'm just gonna mark the whole thing and see what it does. All right, yeah, okay, I'm missing just the bottom part. I'm gonna see if I just add another object mask and just do this to it. No, still not. These masks and the fucking AI remove is not on my level right now. It just does not want to help us. All right, so I'm just using a radio mask. Perfect. So we're gonna go to the sliders of this, and I wanna see if there's any way we can like make it pop a little bit more, but also like if I, for example, take the clarity down a little bit and the texture down a little bit, dehaze it and try and like give it a little bit more of a dreamy look. That is quite nice. And I also, the one in the background, I feel like needs way more shadow to it. So I'm gonna try again with another object mask. I believe this will work very well. Yes, nice. So I'm just gonna pump the exposure down just a little bit to let you like make this pop just a tiny bit more. Perfect, and then let's also see if we give it more of that dreamy kind of look there. Perfect, all right. So that I think is a final image. So let's go on to the next one. All right, so this is our second to last photo that we're gonna be having a look at today. It is just a picture of this is like the tower that is right outside of the central station in Oslo. So we're gonna start, of course, with cropping it in a 4x5. I am sticking so true to my 4x5. And I really wanna get rid of those, that building in the bottom here. But framing this with the rule of thirds in mind will be quite difficult. I do believe something like this will work, because I kind of want to catch this bird also. Yeah, I think something like that is quite good. So if you were thinking about the rule of thirds here, we're trying to get this tower within this part, and then we can have a bird here alone in that square. I think that'll be a very nice composure of the photo. Of course, gonna make it black and white, because that is the theme we're going for. We're sticking with the black and white 3 because it was very nice with the contrast, and I quite like it. I'm gonna up the contrast a little bit more because I actually really felt it was quite cool with the silhouettes that you're getting when it's such a contrasty photo. Because when you have the black and white, you get it so like, you know, it's quite nice. So I am losing a lot of the tower, as you can see, but I'm gonna try and get some of that back very soon. Just trying to, you know, get a little bit of a feel for the image before I do that. So I'm gonna try again to use our lovely object brush. It might be very difficult with all these small details going on, so we'll see how it performs here. Yeah, absolutely horrible, as to be expected. So we can try. Could see what happens if we select the sky and invert it. If I were to invert this mask here, that could, yeah, exactly. You see? So sometimes you can do that if you're struggling with a mask, like you're trying to mask out either object or person, but you're not being able to do it in an easy way. You can do the sky, for example, and then invert it, and then you'll get exactly what you want. So that is a very nice little trick to get what you want instead of whatever the program you're using wants you to want. So yeah, I think that is a little nice little trick. So yeah, I'm just trying to get this to have somewhat of the details, because we were losing a lot of it. And I did also get the bird. I can easily just remove the bird also, but I do kind of think that I can do the bird also. Doesn't quite matter. I believe that it was still quite nice to get some more of the detail on the bird also, because yeah, you can like see that it's a seagull. I think that is quite good. We can see how this looks with a vignette. It might be a bit too much, but I'm not afraid to give it a try. What I also really like to do when I'm in Lightroom Classic is looking how does it look on a smaller scale. So here I have it bigger, and then you do have this like nice one up in the side that gives you like this small preview of it, which is kind of how people will see it on a page or Instagram or like whatever, wherever you post it, people most likely see it in a grid first. So it's very nice to actually like be able to see it in a smaller scale and a bigger scale. Yeah, so that's the final image, and let's jump to the last one. Yeah, there are many different ones here. I thought this one here was quite cool, especially that you have this bright side and the shadow side. Really love to have that, especially when you're doing it in black and white, because it gives you that more. Because in black and white you don't have that much to play with, you know. But when you have shadows and stuff like this, you really get a sense of depth of field, even though it's so, yeah, black and white. So yeah, you see here, and this was, I thought it was a very cool little sticker. So yeah, I could just use this as a photo also, but this is not the one we're gonna focus on. But like, you see, this doesn't need to be anything special. It's just a cool little, yeah. Here is the final image. This is a very cool building. It had so much of this just growing on it, so you can like see that it has a certain type of life, like the whole building is a little bit alive. So and with how the sun was hitting it from the side here, because it had been just so gray the whole day, and then all of a sudden as we were going home we were getting some of that bright sky, blue sky, and nice weather. So it was hitting it very, very nicely. We were gonna stick with our trusted black and white number 3. We're here, I really wanna get a lot of contrast. Because you see how much of this is still just hitting. So I think I'm gonna just make it a bit too much in the start and just brighten up this bottom part later. because I really want to have this as like almost as bright as I can. I want it to like be shining that light and having this darker side. I believe that that is gonna be very, very cool for this image. So the way I'm gonna do that is I'm just gonna use a linear gradient for this bottom part here and just brighten that up a little bit. So you see how different that looks. And especially if you're looking in the little small one, see how much of a difference that makes to like just know how it looks on a smaller scale. I love that, but I do believe that that was a little bit too bright. So I think we're gonna keep it like that, and let's also just punch this a little bit in. I do hate that the building has this gutter. So I think we can try to remove it with the AI removing thingy-majiggy. But seeing how badly it has worked today, I don't know if I quite trust it. Might just add a couple of windows and stuff, but yeah, we're just gonna see how it will become. You're not gonna see that bottom bit if I remove those. Hopefully it hits this time. Yeah, perfect. Okay, that is, you do know that it's there, and you especially, because as I've said, this is a 61 megapixel camera. Like, look at this tiny little, we're zoomed that much in, and we have so much detail still. So you do notice it, that it's not generating it in the same quality, but I do believe that we're gonna get away with it in this particular photo. But yeah, I actually quite like already how this is. I do believe it was just a very coolly composed photo. That was kind of what I was trying to put an emphasis on with this particular one, because I am trying to play with the black and white today. So yeah, because then when you're doing things in black and white, you got to think a little bit differently, you know. You got to look at how the light is hitting things and how, yeah, just how things feel. Not just the colors, like beautiful flower. Just take a photo of a beautiful flower in black and white might be quite boring because there's nothing giving it that depth of field that the colors would do. But here, the shadows and the bright sky, I think it's quite nice. Wonder how this would look with a little bit of just a little bit of like that, a mask like that. Turning the temperature up also, just because we don't know how that looks, but we can pretend at least. All right, we could also just see how that looks without the black and white, just for fun. Yeah, it's not quite as cool as the black and white because it is a little bit fucked up, but yeah. Cool. Yeah, so yeah, that was the last one. So here you can just look at all of them again really quickly. All right, so that was everything that we had in store for this video here. So I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll see the next one too. Bye. Woo.